Okay. Okay. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to doctor and all students. We are from group 10. We'll present about management of multiple disabilities. Okay, our group member. Next slide. Okay, first me, Aina Safia binti Abdul Hamid, and then Musfira binti Mahmud, and then Muhammad Khairul Hanis bin Ahmad, and then Muhammad Irfan bin Abdul Rahim, and then Nurhani Akila binti Muhammad Noh, and the last one is Muhammad Izmil bin Abdul Aziz.
The definition and concept of special education. Special education is education provided for children with special needs. They include those who have vision problems, hearing problems, as well as those who have problems in learning and intelligence. Next, the new definition approach of children with special needs emphasizes the ability, functionality, skills, development, mastery and achievement of the child if in developmental skills. Traditional or earlier approaches emphasize the disabilities and incapacities of the individual. Special education means specially designed instruction that meets the unusual needs of exceptional children. From Halahan and Kaufman 1994, individual pattern instruction designed to meet the educational needs associated with students with disabilities. PK provides learning opportunities that cannot be provided in a standardized curriculum. Special features of special education. First, specially trained teachers. Second, a multidisciplinary approach. The definition of multidisciplinary is something that combines several fields of study or academic interest. An example of a multidisciplinary course of study is when you study math, science, English, and history. Next is individualized education program. What is individualized education program? Explain. An individualized education plan or program is also known as an IEP. This is a plan or program developed to ensure that a child with an identified disability who is attending an elementary or secondary educational institution receive specialized instruction and related service. Next, special curriculum teaching objectives are real, meaningful, specific, and short-term in nature. Active student involvement in learning, regular and continuous evaluation of progress, and appropriate evaluation records. Next, special teaching methods. Last one is parental counseling. Parenting counseling is a type of service that aims to provide the necessary knowledge, tools, guidance, and especially support to parents without bias or judgment. This way, they become more fully equipped to take care of their children. Special program concept under the Education Act 1996. First, a program provided in special schools. Example for students with visual or hearing impairments. Second, merger integration program in regular schools for students with visual impairment or hearing impairment or learning difficulties. Third, inclusive education program for students with special needs who can attend regular classes with regular students. Special program concept under the Education Act 1961. Special schools are schools that provide special educational service for students with disabilities.
Okay, for next slide. Okay, what is the difference between student with special needs and student with disabilities in terms of concept and characteristic? Okay, first, for student with special needs, they are exceptional children that these who are different from normal children, includes those with learning difficulties as well as those who are show higher achievement than normal children. Okay, they also do not have a disability but consider to have a high probability to having disability. They face problem in the regular classroom and at risk of becoming disabled. Okay, for disabled students, they are also known as handicapped children. They are lack or loss of function, limb or organ is often used synonymously with those with disability or imperfections. This disability hinder and limits their ability to perform tasks that ordinary people can perform. Okay, they also have problem with interacting with the environment. Okay, next slide. Okay, there are two types of philosophy in Malaysia. One is national education philosophy, and second is special education philosophy. For national education philosophy, education in Malaysia is an ongoing effort towards further developing the potential of individual in a holistic and integrated manner, so as they produce individuals who are intellectual, spiritual, emotional, and physically balanced and harmonious based on firm belief and devotion to God. Such an effort is designed to produce Malaysian citizens who are knowledgeable and competent, who possesses high moral standards, and who are responsible and capable of achieving high level of personal well-being, as well as being able to contribute to the harmony and betterment of family. Okay, for a special education philosophy is a continuous effort to produce people who are skilled, oriented, able to plan and manage life and realize the potential as an individual and balanced and productive member of society in line with FEK. Okay, next slide. Okay, for the objective of FPK is for provide activities that foster social development and adjustment into the regular school and community service. Okay, second, to provide appropriate education program related service to each child with disability requiring special education from age 3 to 21 years. Okay, to provide activities that foster special development and adjustment into regular school and community. Yeah, also to identify disability among the preschool children. Okay, so then provide the appropriate related service to the student with a disability according to their need, like uh, hearing sets. Okay, for next point is to encourage parental involvement and in that understanding of special education program. As we know, in Malaysia, there are also too, too, there are many parents who do not know how to handle disabled or special children. Okay, then to provide healthy and friendly environment in outside the school for each student with disability. Okay, there are 10 type of disability. First is visual disability, is about eyes problem. Second is hearing disability. Third is physical disability. Fourth is speech disability. Five, Down syndrome, spastic, mental retard, spine bifida, autism, and smart and talented. Okay. Okay, for spastic is a condition is a muscle stiffen or tighten, preventing normal fluid movement. The muscle remain contracts and resist their stretch, thus affecting movement, speech, and gait. Spastic is generally caused by damage or distraction to the area of the brain and spinal cords that are responsible for controlling muscle and stretch reflex. Their disruption can be due to imbalance inhibitory and excitatory signals sends to the muscle, causing them to lock in place. There are several types of cerebral palsy, as we've seen at the picture. There are first is spastic dysplasia. The center of the picture, spastic dysplasia, for both hands, both legs. Okay, for spastic hemiplegia is the left side of the picture. Is hands and feet on sides of the body. Then for last type of cerebral palsy is spastic quadriplegia. Is right side of the picture. You can see that both hand and feet are having problem. Okay, then next slide. Okay, for dyslexia, dyslexia is a learning disorder that affects ability to read, spell, write, and speak. People with dyslexia have trouble reading a good pass and without mistake. They also have a hard time with reading comprehension, spelling, and writing. But these challenges are not problem with intelligence. There's several type of dyslexia. First is dyspraxia. Dyspraxia is refers to motor eyes coordination, in which the student cannot put something like bottle at the tables. They also when the student put on on the table, the bottle will fall down. Okay, for dyscalculia is refers to a mathematical problem, and for dysgraphia is refer to language. Okay, for smart and talented is a one of categories in special education learning program. Students who have extraordinary potential and talent as well as beyond the ability of their peers and better known as gifted children. In the United States, the definition of smart and talented refers to children with exceptional talent who are shown through high achievement compared to peers. Okay, they are characteristic of smart and talented. First is high observation. Okay, then is have a deep interest into one subject. Like as we know in Malaysia, we have one person who are smart and talented who is Adi Putra. He have a deep interest into one subject, which is mathematics. Okay, for they also receive information from probably long-term level of concentration, high imagination. Like we know, like Adi Putra, we can see that he to deep interest deep interest into into mathematics, which uh which he can create a formula which his brains. Okay, they are also sensitive and also likes to be alone.
And now we go to Individual Education Plan System, ERPI. The definition is this is a structured planning document with different steps and appropriate teaching needs to help students with special needs achieve the identified objective. So here we can see the official website for ERPI. Teachers can access this website to prepare their lesson plan for the students, and also the parents can access to check out their children learning progress. Next one is the characteristic of individual education plan ERPI. So the first one is we have comprehensive, realistic and appropriate, intelligible, specific, in sequence, and the last one is agreed. Next, we go to the summary of individual education plan. The first one is this is a planning that covers academic and non-academic aspects. Second one, the objectives, procedures, and assessment sequences for determining student achievement. A plan and preparation to help students with special needs face the environment. Next is the annual goal that student can achieve. And the last one, the summary of ERPR is a program of assessment for a student and is the core of educational planning in a special education program. for the student with disabilities. Next, we go to the elements and importance of ERPI. We go to the element first. We have 5 elements here. The first one is collaboration, reliability, information sharing, processes and result, and the last one is documentation. The next one is the importance, which is the first one is the attendance for the student itself, the academic, the skills, and the last one is the anoxis.
Okay, for the classroom management. Okay, for the classroom management, Guy Arlen Francis in 1999 said, a comprehensive concept for various teacher activities with the aim of facilitating PMP. So, teacher need to be creative on creating their learning activities in their classroom because they are the center of the class. The activities can be such as making a project or experiment or anything else. They have to make their own role in the classroom. Okay, next, Alberto and Trotman in 1986 said teacher skills in managing the time, space, learning resources, rules, and behavior of students. Okay, itself, teacher need to develop the skill because the student with disabilities is very different with the normal student, and it really need the teacher to be more concerned about the student, especially student behavior in the classroom. Okay, and then Richard in 1990. Okay, he said teacher organization and control over student behavior, movement, and interaction during PMP. Okay, this is same like what Alberto and Trotman said. As we know, the disability student is very different with the normal student, and they also tend to do any dangerous things in the classroom. So, as a teacher, we have to always reprimanded about their attitude in the classroom. Okay, next we go to classroom management in special education. We have a student with autism, development delay, and hyperactive disorder. Okay, we go one by one. Okay, first we go with autism. A student with autism. Okay, the characteristic. The first one, they have a problem with social interaction. And then the second, unusual interest in objects. And then isolation with others. And then under or overreaction to one or more of the five senses, such as sight, touch, taste, smell, or hearing. And the last one is they tend to repeat actions or body movements. And then the method that teacher have to use is the first one, prepare other students to be able to accept autistic student in their classroom. And then the second one, observe their behavior and try to find a solution about their bad habit. And then the third is provide a conducive environment. And then the last one is seek advice or help from an expert in special need education. And then the next one is development delay. Okay, the characteristic is the first one, the inability in fine motor skills, and then the lack of body balance, and then lack in social interaction with other people, and the last one, they have a problem with language proficiency. And the method that teacher have to use is first one, technological based in learning, such as learning based on computer, laptop. And then the second one is medical treatment. And then the third one is physical therapy, and then balanced diet, And the last one is psychological treatment. So the next one is hyperactive student, which is we call ADHD. Okay, the characteristic is the first one, they quickly distracted by other things. And second one, easy to get bored with their activities in the classroom. And the third one is cannot focus on important details. Okay, the method that teacher have to use is always give them consideration on what they want to do. And the second one, ensure they are always listen to the rules in the classroom. And the last one, give them an opportunities to involve in the classroom. Okay, then we go to the aspect in the classroom. Okay, number one, effective classroom management, which includes physical aspect of the classroom, student behavior, routines, rules, and procedure, and also an effective instruction. Okay, number two, knowledge and skills of teaching strategies can fulfill student various needs in special need education. Okay, the third one, the ability to evaluate the skill of a special needs student. And then number four, set an appropriate and realistic learning objectives. And number five, modify activities and exercises in the classroom to observe their needs in and abilities in classroom. And then number six, structuring the environment in order to stimulate student learning. And number seven, use strategies such as cooperative learning to encourage collaboration between the special needs student and the other student in the classroom. And then number eight, emphasize the importance of respecting another student. And then number nine, appreciate differences among individuals. And then number 10, have high expectations in students' ability to succeed. And then the last one is build good relationship with parents and teacher to find out the needs of the disability student.
Okay, the next slide that I want to present is one student, one sport policy implementation strategy in special education. There are two types. The first one is basic factor to approach taken in the implementation of one student, one sport. Okay, for this factor, the first one is classification. For the classification, teachers need to determine groups based on their disabilities. And then the second one is the capabilities and functionality. This is for assessment of the ability to perform activities based on individual needs. The third one is types of sport. And the last one is modification. This is to modify the way you play techniques, equipment, the rules of the game as minimally as possible. Next. Okay, the second strategy is the implementation of one student, one sport can be implemented in four ways. The first way is time and group participation. The second way is based on performance. The third way is seasonal. For seasonal, it is according to the calendar plan at the state and national district levels. And the last way is throughout the year. For this, it is recording to the calendar of programs designed for individuals, such as indoor games, indoor competition, sports club, and various sports activities suitable for special education students. Next. Okay, next slide is the roles and responsibilities of special educational teachers. The first one is teachers need to provide briefing related to the obligation to implement the policy of one student, one sport to special educational staff at PPKI. Second one is discuss with PPKI teachers on the implementation of one student, one sport from the aspect of implementation management. Next is hold one student, one student, one sport meetings at least twice a year or as needed as deemed necessary to be involved. Identify teachers' abilities and then identify potential and student talents. Next is choose the right sport to the student. Ensure all sport advisor teachers make written reports and file according to their respective sport activities. The second, the second line is jointly monitor during sport activity, and the last one is ensure that all sport advisory teachers prioritize the safety of students while conducting sport activities. Okay, this is the different role of ordinary teachers and special educational teachers. For ordinary teachers, they only teach mainstream students, educate students to be excellent human beings in academic, personality, and core curriculum. The third one, they only patient is tested by the attitudes and behavior of students who do not listen to words. And the last one is limited ability, only able to teach mainstream class students. And then for the special teacher, they need to teach children with disabilities. They need to produce students who know how to take care of themselves and are skilled. And then patient is tested by special students because special educational students have difficulty to understanding instructions and they are slow in lesson. And the last one is able to teach children from special education classes and mainstream classes.
Okay, I will present about methods for modifying the behavior of multiple disability students. Number one is system token. System token is a token symbol in the shape of the star or point. This token will give to students who do good, completes assignment and so on. Upon reaching a certain amount, the student can convert the token into a gift form. And it also one of the way to motivate students to behave positively. Number two is time out. Time out for multiple disability students is isolate students to commit misconduct. The period of isolation should be appropriate according to age. For example, 4 years, 4 minutes. Once the time out period is over, teacher needs to explain the offense they committed and the reason given for this punishment. This isolation is intended to calm the student or class situation. Number three is contract. Contract is agreement made between teacher and student. This contract is make an agreement to change a bad behavior. Before the contract is assigned, students and teachers need to reach an agreement from both parties first. Okay, number four is reward. This reward to create for fun relationship and positive behavior. They are have four form of rewards. First, major rewards. Second, social rewards. Third, activity rewards. And fourth, general rewards. Number five, positive confirmation. Positive confirmation is a stimulus in the form of the praise and encouragement. The purpose of this is to encourage a certain behavior to repeat. For example, when a student succeeds in the changing an environment or behavior, the teacher needs to give praise. There are two forms of reinforcement. First, primary reinforcement, for example, food, drink, and other. Number two, common reinforcement, for example, compliment, carrots, money, and other. Conclusion, student management is one of the units of learning management.
it has similarities and difference in the managing student in the term of student abilities, normal or less normal. This management also involve aspect of record books, student readiness to learn, and motivating student. Teachers should assess their students from all aspects to facilitate teaching and learning season, and the result will be able to help in problem solving among students. In the management of multiple disabilities, it is more of the activities that can involve students, because students with these disabilities are different from normal students. These students with multiple disabilities are more into real material. Therefore, teachers who teach students with multiple disabilities should be creative in the teaching that can engage students to learn happily. Thank you.